Hello, and welcome to my tarot channel. Today's video is Do They Still Think of You? There are 4 piles here to choose from, each with an Easter candy on it. So choose your pile 1 through 4. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will show you the piles now. Do they still think of you? You can either go by the cards or by the candy that's on there. Do they still think of you? Pile 3, pile 4. So take your time to choose your pile. Use your intuition. If you need to, pause the video. You can go by the cards or by the chocolate that's on the cards. And I'm going to start your reading with pile number 1 now. Do they still think of you? They might still think of you. If they do, maybe it's a feeling of like regret or maybe a little bit pessimistic, or they are perhaps, or a little bit feeling regret. Maybe they were in love, or it's like an emotional feeling, but I would say they probably do still think of you. But maybe it's not like a new beginning or anything between the two of you. It's just maybe they feel a bit of regret and maybe think of you fondly, perhaps, is what it is. Maybe they still had fond feelings for you and they're feeling a little bit pessimistic, perhaps. But you know, the feeling that they had for you was probably one of love. And I would say that they probably do still think of you. Maybe they just try not to, but they probably still do. And for your oracle cards, you got the heart chakra, so you're probably still in their heart. And your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. So I mean, for them, maybe things haven't changed, but for you, they have, I would say. And maybe you moved on, but they still think of you and you're still in their heart. But there's no change really. Like maybe they don't want to look back, but you're still in their heart fondly. That's what I would say of do they still think of you for pile number 1. So for pile number 2, do they still think of you? This is pile number 2. Do they still think of you? Okay, 7 of Cups. So maybe it's an illusion, maybe not. Maybe they don't, or if they, maybe they have like other choices, or it would be, maybe that's something that already ended, a cycle that's already ended. Maybe in the past there were different things, there was romance or something in the past, but if they did, maybe it's an illusion to you, or you think there are all these choices, but maybe they still have a caring thought about you if they are thinking about you, but they probably aren't. But if they were, they're empathetic. Move on to your oracle cards now. And you got opportunity beckons. So maybe I wouldn't think too much about whether they're thinking about you. If they are, they probably have a kind thought about you, but it's probably not the forefront of their mind. I would focus more on myself if I were you. The more loving care you give yourself, the more love you have to give others. So like I said, maybe make sure you're taking care of yourself and focusing on yourself more so than worrying about whether this person is thinking about you. I would say maybe that cycle ended, but if they were, maybe it would be a more empathetic, caring type of energy. It's just probably not something that they're really thinking of. You know, that's what I would say. And the more loving care you give yourself, the more love you have to give others. So that's an important message too. So I'll move on to pile number 3 now. So for pile number 3, are they still thinking of you? And you got the Tower. So maybe there was a shakeup, or like a shakeup in the foundation, or some kind of awakening or something. So that would probably be something that would be hard to forget. So even though you may want to, people may want to, maybe you weren't always on the same page, but I think you're probably the courageous, driven person. Maybe you're just wondering if they are, and they probably were. Maybe it was a fiery thing, I would say, with the fire here, and with the Queen of Wands, and the courageous and driven. So I would say, are they still thinking about you? Or do they still think about you? Probably something or someone that's hard to forget, or situation maybe that's hard to forget. Move on to your oracle card, and you got Simply Love. So if things were left on like a shaky note, there's still like some kind of passion there, or love. And you got a dragon here too. Where does the power come from? It comes from within. So maybe it was something passion or passion related. So I would say maybe the passion is still there. Maybe there was like a growth or an awakening from whatever it was between you and this person. And so I just think it's really cool that both the dragons are here. And then with the Tower card, maybe just like an awakening type of thing happened between the two of you, is kind of what I'm feeling like with the where does the power come from? It comes from within. I would say, yeah, probably hard to forget. So are they still thinking of you? Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would probably be what I would think. So that is your reading for pile number 3. Alright, so for pile number 4, are they still thinking of you? Or do they still think of you? Or think about you? Probably. Maybe you feel empowered by the idea that they still think of you. But I would say probably, and you're probably content in that, but maybe you're more busy, or they're more busy, so it's not like an all the time thing. But whatever the feeling is of do they still think of you, it's one of contentment and family. It's not anything like bad or anything like that. So probably happy thoughts, I would say, thoughts that they feel empowered by. It might just be more busy and not thinking all the time of you or anything like that, but every once in a while maybe a thought comes up, and it's generally a good one that they have. And you got the Sacred Shower, so maybe there was some passion there. So it would be something that the person probably doesn't think about all the time, but it's not something they forget, and generally it's an empowering memory and one of contentment about if they are still thinking of you, or do they still think of you. And you got follow your heart's desires and manifest the heck out of your life. So maybe you're just both more a little busy and focused on yourselves, but if they are thinking of you, it's an empowering, mostly joyous, just happy thought or memory, I would say. But maybe there's a little more busyness and people need to focus on themselves. Like follow your heart's desires right now might be a good time for manifesting things into your life. You may be trying to manifest them. You got the passion here as well. But yeah, it would seem to be a positive as far as are they thinking of you. So thank you for watching my video, and that is your reading.